MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by the Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right, what's going on, everybody? How we doing? Hope everybody had a good weekend. Got the last trading day of the month. Pretty interesting start to today's session. Pretty wide neutral zone spread. Got a decent volatility off of that. But before we get into all the market stuff, today was supposed to be the day that we were, I just want to put this out in front. Today was supposed to be a day that we were supposed to announce Edge Clear was supposed to announce who was the winner of the giveaway. However, haven't really heard anything back from them over the last couple of days, so I'm not sure exactly what happened with that. But I do know, I talked to them like a week ago. I'm not getting into too much details about details, with the specifics. There was only one sign up at that time, so I don't know if it changed or anything like that. So anyway, that's where we are with that. But however, there will be a Sierra chart tip of the month on schedule as usual. It'll be posted either today or tomorrow morning. Probably would have had that out already, but I was waiting on the giveaway information first. But anyway, just wanted to put that out so everybody's aware. Whoever was interested in that, just waiting to hear back from them. And as soon as I know something, you'll know something through the community tab or through Discord. So anyway, let's get to this market. Comparing it to, let me bring up my journal, bring up the live journal. It's a pre-market check, pretty decent volume. Compared to last Monday, it's lower, but still decent volume and I got these numbers at 9:45. We've increased about roughly 10K since I got these numbers. NQ compared to the others, everything has shared sentiment across the board. Almost identical structure. YM did, in terms of its power range, it did see a little bit more of a dip into the supply zone. So let me dig a little deeper into NQ and take a sip of water. On the basis of time, I'm just gonna go through this. Not really gonna do a whole lot of explaining while I go through this, unless I see something significant I want to point out. Lower volume than Friday, but it's still pretty strong volume relative to what we've seen over the summer, over the last few months. right at supply around 888. 15,888. Still holding the highs of Friday. Let's do it. Nothing in terms of volume gap other than the session high and the session low that's sticking out to me. I'm just going to mark this PR50 area off. Point of interest. Where around that PR50 is where the value area starts to decline a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it kind of back and forth on it. Got a minute before the bell. I'm gonna go ahead and post this stuff to Discord and Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go now. I don't know why it always feels like my pre-market analysis goes longer on when I'm streaming. The weirdest thing ever. I'm not doing anything different. It's exactly the same process that I go through the rest of the week. Got a nice supply run at the open. Going back to that pre-market supply zone. All the volume building in that 890 area. Strong supply response, quickly going back into inventory below A1. Heavy negative delta is taking us down there back to the VWAP. Nice mechanical response off the VWAP. Push through. We're starting to budget down here around the VWAP. Set up shop there with the inventory off of 840, 846-ish, 848. Let's just say the 840 range. Back to VWAP. Still mechanically responding to that area, to that inventory. I would say that inventory zone is set up at the top. The top of the inventory zone is near the VWAP. trend is showing that we did kind of run out of sellers, at least temporarily. Searching for higher supply. Quick little balance. We'll go right back up to that 880s area. I need a marketing term to define these wide range volatility days, or just wide range volatility structure and price action. I like to the language that I use, the words that I use. I like to use words that are just general marketing terms like budgeting, and how I refer to ranges as setting up shops. And you can literally see the auctioning of the market. Go set up a location, set up shop in a location, facilitate orders. Just patiently waiting for my setup. Haven't really seen anything clean that I like to look for yet. People like to refer to as an A+ setup. I don't really like using that term. It makes it seem like it's just bound to work out. And just because you got the best setup in the world doesn't mean that it's gonna work out in your favor. Even the best setups include losses. One thing I've been playing with while I'm just waiting for my setup to come. Go ahead and give you like a sneak. I don't even know how to call it. Like a pre-announcement of the next Sierra chart video that's gonna come out. And I'm probably I'm gonna make videos. This video that's coming out next is gonna be like an overview. One thing that I've been looking at is, or doing more research on, is order flow, different ways of just analyzing order flow and how I can do that within Sierra chart. So that's what the next Sierra chart tip of the month video is going to be about. It's going to be about different ways to trade and analyze order flow within Sierra chart. It's a brief overview, and then in some following videos I'm going to go deeper into some of the things. And of course, whatever you ask for, that's what's gonna hold priority. So on that video or whatever, if you comment that you want to see something specific, that'll go to the top of my list, and then I'll talk about that as much as I know about it, of course. I'm more of a structure and a price action trader, with just a little hint of paying attention to order flow and using some of it for making trading decisions. Don't start that. I'm starting to press the button and my chart's jumping all around. No technical issues. I had a trigger come up, didn't get filled, so I had to remove it. Then the chart started acting funny. Almost got triggered when I didn't want it to be. Slowly lifting the supply. Nice mechanical response off this volume gap before the session high. Past our first 15-minute mark. Just a out loud mental note to myself. If I don't end up getting the trade this morning, that's perfectly okay. There will be tomorrow. And if there isn't, then it doesn't matter. I like to remind myself of these things, even though I definitely know it, but I don't want to get caught up into any, emotional decision making. AKA FOMO. So it helps me personally to verbally express these things, so I can stick to it, stay consistent. Strong supply response. So now we're gonna dive back into the inventory, into that previous inventory. We'll take a brief pause here at PR50, where we once had supply. Appreciate everybody that hit the like button. I do have an idea, that was sparked by this whole Edge Clear giveaway. That I'm gonna do myself, but I want to iron out exactly how I want to do it. So more details will follow on that. Maybe I know something at least by the next futures trade ready on Friday. I do have a key automation level at 866. I also want to make sure I pay attention to that inventory between 850 and 840, the 850 and 40 ranges. That's just, personally for what I'm looking for. It could potentially get rough down there if we make it below the 860s. Could see heavy budgeting, aka chop. Or we could slice right through it. Anything is possible. Got about less than 4 minutes before my B-Force break, so I may not even get a trade within A period. I'm not going to force anything. One of the hardest things to do in trading is to sit back and keep yourself from forcing a trade that's outside of what you plan to do. It's what the term sitting on your hands, because it could be as rough as where you have to literally sit on your hands. I had to do it earlier in my trading journey. Like years ago, I had to sit on my hands, so I didn't take a position that I wasn't supposed to be taking. It's not so hard. If you take a few losses, it gets easier to not take trades that you're not supposed to be taking. You experience a couple of drawdowns. At least that's how it was for me. So by taking losses is important. I was watching, since I don't have anything to trade right now. It gives me time to project some things some triggers that I've had lately. Quick little trader triggers moment. Anyway, I saw an influencer kind of mention talk about losses or taking losses, and in a way that where they expressed it was to avoid taking big losses. But it was put out in a way where it could be perceived from a standpoint of fear, and just fear, in my personal opinion, with trading, fear in general is something that you want to be aware of, and you want to try to mitigate your responses to it as much as possible, right? You don't want to be afraid of fear, because then that's still a fear that you're dealing with, but you also just want to be aware of it when it comes up, and then that's where you have your plan and all that stuff to rely on that helps you get through that fear. So just like the fear of missing out, I know that the setup that I'm looking for is going to come again, so I don't have to try to be afraid of missing out on today's action. It can be as volatile as it wants to be. It can trend if it wants to. If I don't get the setup that I'm looking for to participate in it, then I'm just gonna skip it, right? And then wait for the setup that I want, that allow me to participate that will allow me to participate in it based off all the work that I put in beforehand to know what setups that I want to take. And in terms of taking losses, I found it to be beneficial to take risk managed losses regardless of the size of the loss. So if it's a big loss, it doesn't matter as long as I still maintain my risk. Maintain the risk plan or whatever, the risk technique that I had for that. Like, as long as I don't just let it just go infinitely, right? I have a area where I want to cut that loss off, no matter what the size of that loss. It's been beneficial because I've had big losses, I've had small losses, relative to what I would frame those, or relative to how I would see that, right? And all the losses have had valuable lessons in them. Like, I've learned the most from taking losses than I have from most of the winners that I've taken. And it's not to go out and purposely lose, but it's about trying different things out and expanding your horizon, expanding your perspective on what is capable or what's possible in this environment. And then how that relates to how you perceive the environment and how you can participate in that. We're really starting to, that negative delta starting to pile in here. One on a strong inventory. Strong inventory run. We did a lot of, so that wide range kind of served as a budgeting area to have the budget to serve to pick up this cheaper inventory. And I'm in my break period. Still no triggers for me to take, even if I wanted to. Back to the topic, there's a point I wanted to make and I just remembered it. So the whole thing about taking a big loss is under the fear that you're going to lose all your money, you're not going to be able to trade again. Which, money in this world is infinite, even though there's a lot of beliefs that's projected against what I just said. However, it's infinite in the sense that it stays in motion. So money is always cycling between all the hands in this world, and all the it stays in motion. It's always in motion. So all you got to do is put yourself in a position to tap into the flow of money. Now, of course, it's not as easy. It doesn't, it's not always as easy as I just expressed it there. But I mean, that's really what it is, right? You got to go out, find a job, make a job, right? Find some way that you can service some people so that they can, your service can be exchanged for money, right? And I'm just saying all that because even if let's say I keep trading and I take some big losses, I follow my plan or whatever, even if I don't follow my plan, I end up blowing out my account. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean I got to stop trading because I blew out that one account or two accounts. I could just go make more money, take those lessons. Now the key in that is just taking the lessons and learning what you can do better, and then learning what, and then seeing also what you did right, and just staying on that, keep doing the things that you did right, do that, see if you can improve that, right? Make whatever improvements that you have to make, go make more money. And once you have enough money to start trading again, then you come back and then you trade in a more efficient and with, in a better way. But if you taking big losses doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to trade anymore just because you've blown out an account. Like, I know a lot of traders, and I've heard a lot of stories, read a lot of stuff, to where people have lost anywhere from a couple $100s to hundreds of thousands to millions. Yet those traders continued on. They went out and made more money. They continue on. Their mindset to not give up, to be persistent. They kept going. They kept working at it, kept getting better, to where they made that back, and plus so much more. So the overall message is, don't be afraid of taking big losses, as long as you're don't even focus on taking a big loss. What you focus on is managing your risk and making sure that you're staying persistent, and that you're not going to give up on yourself until you figure it out. Like this, nothing that has the potential to give you the outcome or provide you the outcome that this environment does, where you can make a lot of money, right? And all you need is money to make money. You don't need to go out and do the things that you would have to do for running a business. Something that's this lucrative, it's not going to be easy. You got to work through that, right? It's going to be hard. It should be hard. That gives you so much more benefits than just making more money. So now we're inside the B period, and we didn't. So I like to look for when we transition over into the B period, if I had any increased volatility. It's not the word I wanted to use, but it makes the point. And I still haven't had any triggers to take. So I'm just still sitting here patiently waiting. I got another 15 minutes and within my window. Only had one trigger that failed. If I look at this in hindsight, I can see that, it looks like I had so many great opportunities to take advantage of these big swings, but the way that they happen just didn't work out for me today, and that's okay. What I don't want to do is try to force a trade and then have that hindsight capital come back and be like, oh, you shouldn't have taken that trade, and I lost money that I didn't have to lose because I let the emotional element of the market get to me. I have something. Do have our session low below 800, around PR minus 1. Get an exact price on that. It's gonna call it 791. Seeing a bit of front run of that area. Strong inventory response off of 808. Interesting number. We're maintaining the theme of the morning, making another strong supply run back to our power range low. Relative volume gap around 831. Take a moment to balance in that area. Quick inventory response there off of 826-ish. See if we can season that inventory zone, or we're gonna go back lower. Current supply at 834 in the 834 range. That quick little balancing budgeting period. We're going to continue to lift the supply. Taking the supply above the PR low. so we're at VWAP again, but I have a key automation area in the 856 area, 856 range. Some volume around 855 before we get there. As I say, the market is being shown a lot of liquidity in our main inventory. Around the session low. Around that 800 area. Structurally, that just makes sense anyway, because you're gonna always have a lot of interest in the highs and the lows of a session, especially the overnight. Now, whether that's used by market participants or not, it's not a guaranteed thing, but eyes will be focused on those areas. And I got less than 4 minutes, so this looks like a no trade day for me. I only had one that I pulled the trigger on that didn't get filled. The rest were just not as clean as I wanted them to be. And I get through that point, like I mentioned earlier, I did get, I got to the point of knowing what my preferred setup is by one, taking losses, trying to figure things out, and just trying different things. Of course, back testing is really helpful for that as well. But sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty, right? You can back test a lot, you can back test all day, but putting action into it gets other senses and other things involved. To where you can get the most out of whatever it is that you're analyzing, whatever it is that you're looking at, the ideas that you have. That Mike Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. You gotta place these orders, get in the ring and place these orders and see what happens, because it's not about what setups you can find and what patterns you can find. It's about what you can do with those, right? So if you can see a wonderful setup to buy the dip, but if you don't have the psychology to buy the dip and trade it correctly, you're gonna screw it up no matter how good of a setup it is. So it's not something that you can, it's not like either have it or you don't. You can actually work on it, and by working on it, you gotta place the trades, you gotta pull the trigger and get in there. in this range here, I'm seeing some budgeting, some chop. I have a couple automation points here. Point of control, just moving to this area from a 3-minute perspective. A lot of reasons for price to move up and down here. Of course, no one knows how long. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and just shut the shop down for the day. I'm going to officially call this a no trade day. Come back fresh tomorrow. But I hope the rest of you have a good rest of your day, good rest of your session, and a good week. Of course, stay tuned for the next Sierra chart tip of the month. Try to get that out this afternoon. I had to, wait on it. I already talked about it earlier, so I'm not going to say that all over again. But stay tuned for that. But until next time, trade it easy.